everybody, welcome back to the United Way for the Manchester United versus Newcastle United Carabao Cup preview. Newcastle travel to Old Trafford tomorrow night at 8:15 to face Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. Obviously, as we know, these two teams faced each other in the Carabao Cup final last year, and Manchester United came out the victors by 2-0 at Wembley Stadium, and we won the Carabao Cup. First trophy since 6 years. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Obviously, Manchester United coming to this game after a 3-0 defeat to Manchester City in the derby. Newcastle coming into this game with a 2-2 draw against Wolves on Saturday night at the Molineux. But just before we get stuck into it, like always, please like, comment, and hit that big red subscribe button. Be much appreciated. And of course, as per usual, here on the United Way, there will be a live watch along. The game kicks off at 8:15, so we will be live around half hour beforehand, or so at 7:45 for team news and build up as per usual. So let's get stuck into it. So as we know, Manchester United, like I mentioned, coming into this game after losing 3-0 against Manchester City on Sunday. Again, we're not playing great recently. I'll throw up our form here as well, just to kind of give anyone watching a bit of an insight on how things are going. So our last 5 games have been a bit sticky, even though we've won games, we've still been playing poor. They've been scrappy wins, I'll say. Galatasaray beat us 3-2 in the Champions League. We beat Brentford 2-1, all thanks to Scott McTominay late goals. We beat Sheffield United 2-1. We just about beat Copenhagen 1-0, again thanks to a goal from Harry Maguire and a late penalty save from Andre Onana. And again, like I mentioned, we lost against Manchester City 3-0 on the weekend, 2 goals from Haaland, 1 goal from Foden. So I'll leave that form up there for a bit. Look at our home form. We have only won 2 games at home, and we've lost 3 games. Yeah, we've lost 1 at home, won 2 at home, and lost the rest, if I am correct in saying that. So like I said, even though the games that we've won, we're still not playing great. Like I said, our scrappy wins, and the teams that we're playing, we played were expected to be. We were expected to beat Galatasaray. We nearly didn't, but Manchester United do best than lose. We were expected to beat Brentford by some, and we just about done that. We were expected to beat Sheffield United, and we just about done that. We expected to beat Copenhagen, and we just about done that. Again, Manchester City, even though we lost, it was no surprise. So it was no, oh no, how did we lose that? It was simple as that. So my form recently is not great, and if I'm a Newcastle fan, I'm coming into this game and I'm coming in here fancying my chances, because Newcastle can hurt any team, which is going to be interesting as well. But as we know, I know I say this nearly every stream, but this is a must-win game for Manchester United. Not just Carabao Cup, not just because the Carabao Cup and we won it and we done this and that. The players need a win for confidence. And Ten Hag needs to win. You know what I mean? If he wants to keep his job as Manchester United manager, he's going to have to win. You know what I mean? These players need a win. And Newcastle United is going to be a tough test, regardless of what team they bring, what team they put out to play. They can't hurt us, especially we're playing at the moment. So it's a must-win game for Ten Hag, the players. Because if we lose this game, the pressure piles on Ten Hag more than the players. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's a must-win? Again, I'm not bothered about the Carabao Cup, but I think if the players want a bit of confidence and a bit of, okay, we know we can do it, we have to beat Newcastle to build a bit of confidence, regardless of what team they put out. We need a win. And let us know what you think. Do you think it's a must win, or are you just not pushed? Again, the question is, of course, will Ten Hag go strong against Newcastle United? Ten Hag's a bit of a weird manager. Let's be honest. Even when we were playing my last season, you're coming into the game thinking, no, I think he'll play this player, that player, he'll rest them. Honestly, I don't think he will. I think he'll put out a similar team like the team that played Copenhagen last week. I feel like Reguilon will come back into the squad. Varane, Casemiro, if he's available. Obviously, there was no press conference, so we don't know what the story is with Rafael Varane. Oh, not Varane. Casemiro. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm expecting them to put out a strong enough team. Obviously, I'd like to see Hannibal play, Kobe Mainu, Boyender, Garnacho, Pelistri, those likes of players. But I don't think Ten Hag will. I think he'll play the team to form. And to be honest with you, if Ten Hag doesn't drop any of the big players, like I said, which the next point that'll come up in the next moments, players need dropping. And when I mean players, I'm looking at Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, those two especially. Again, you can maybe say, oh, what about Dalot? What about Maguire? What about, Lindelof? Mount doesn't play anymore. Ten Hag brought him in, went to be in his plans, and he's been dropped for like the last 3 games. Could be potentially 4. Players do need dropping. If Ten Hag doesn't drop these players, the big ego players, the players who aren't playing well, he will lose his job. He will get sacked. He will. And there's no beating around the bush. If he doesn't drop certain players, he will lose his job. There's no beating around the bush. So, again, some people are like, drop Marcus Rashford, drop Bruno Fernandes. He is not going to drop them. And I don't think we should get rid of Ten Hag, personally. So, for anyone asking or wondering, I am not Ten Hag out as of yet. His mistakes are starting to kind of worry me. I ask questions. I ask a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions for him. But Ten Hag's a bit of, like other managers, he can be very stubborn. And being stubborn can have a bad comeback on you. But I don't know. What do you think, Reds? Do you think you should drop the big ego players for the game against Newcastle? Again, I think, like who will he drop? If, people like drop Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes, drop them two in particular. And maybe some would say the same with Anthony. But Anthony's been kind of in and out, so he hasn't been kind of stayed in, and that's his position. He's been all over the place. So yeah, I mean, I personally, I don't know what to say, but I think players do need dropping, but I don't think he'll drop them for this game. I know you're saying players need dropping, but you don't think he'll drop them. If I was the manager, I would drop Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. But he said it before. He hasn't kind of said it, but he said something along the lines of, I'm basically going to play Rashford into form. So Rashford, you probably won't see Garnacho play tomorrow against Newcastle, which I would like to see Garnacho play against Newcastle. I really, really would. I'd like to see him start. He hasn't started. He hadn't really started for Ten Hag a lot. He started in the game against Palace, but we're not going to put out that exact team again. You're not going to see who was it that played that game. I think it was Onana, Reguilon, Harry Maguire. I think it was Lindelof, Dallo, Casemiro. No, sorry, Amrabat was left back. Sorry, we had Casemiro, Mason Mount, Hannibal, Garnacho, Hoyland, and Anthony. I think I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but we're not going to see that exact same team. We're not, because then we weren't great then, but the pressure wasn't really mounting on Ten Hag. But now it's really, really mounting on him. And again, if he doesn't win this game, the fans are going to be against him even more if some aren't already against him. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm going to say. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you look at the last time we played Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, we were playing brilliant then, and ever since we started the new season, we expect to come into this high hopes, high expectations. It's been a big drop off from Manchester United. We came into the start of this season with an unbeaten run at Old Trafford. We thought we were bringing in players, still questions over some, obviously, but we looked at what happened the season before last. We were getting players back from injury. We were coming into it thinking high expectations. We have not had that, and that's a big drop off. Ten Hag looks all over the place. The players look all over the place. The club itself just looks all over the place. We thought Qatar were going to come in. Everyone was hyped. We play Wolves. We just about win. We think, okay, maybe it's a bit of rustiness. Maybe no one knows. We play Tottenham, lose when we should have. If we took our chances that game, we would have won. But personally, I just think if it's a big drop off, and will we see, like Ten Hag said it after the Man City game, didn't he? Someone said, "Where are we going to see the Ajax style of play?" He says, "You won't see the Ajax style of play. You won't see the Ajax style of play," which concerned you, because if you look at the Ajax style of play, they were brilliant. Like Ajax at its peak, you could almost say, was when they made it to the Champions League semi-final and Tottenham beat them. That was solid. Like the teams they went to beat Real Madrid being one in the knockout stages is unbelievable. So I don't know. It'd be nice if we could see that, see glimpses of that. But if we're not going to see the Ajax style of play, what are we going to see? Is it we're not going to see the Ajax style of play yet, or is it no? You're not seeing any Ajax style of play, regardless of who I bring in or what happens. It is concerning, but it's a really big drop off compared to last season's form. Now, let us know what you think of Manchester United. Let us know what you think of what I spoke about there. Now we're going to jump into our opponents, the Toon, the Geordies, whatever you want to call them, the Zebras. It's not going to be an easy cross pass. And we might have cracked a joke in the Carabao Cup one last year. No, look, Zebra crossing FC. We're going to walk past them like it's nothing. No. Now, let's talk about Newcastle, who are a very, very good team who haven't had any drop off. I mean, we'll go through their form here now in a minute. Newcastle came into this season, and I just want to give credit to Newcastle. Not that I don't like Newcastle. I think I'll be honest with you. I think it's a bit of jealousy or something. Like how are these team who have such owners, have such manager, players, passion? Like, let's be honest, you don't disagree with me if you want, but they haven't got high profile players. Like they haven't got like what we have at Manchester United, where we have Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro. They have, but they're a solid team and they've grown. Like they have a good team. They have Nick Pope, Dan Bourne, Botman. I'm missing someone. I'm actually missing Trippier, Fabian Schär, whatever way you pronounce his name. Joe Wellington, Tonali, Anderson, Bruno Guimaraes. He's a high-profile player alongside Tonali. They have got Isaac Wilson. They have Almiron. They have Gordon, Harvey Barnes, who I think is injured. I think Newcastle have a few injuries coming into this game. Obviously, Tonali is suspended for 10 months, as we know. So him being out is probably good because he is a good midfielder. You have to give it to him. But don't take, like any Newcastle fans watching, don't take that into offence. What I'm saying to you is you haven't got, top class players, but the players you have are brilliant. And you have new owners, like you can go out and buy Kylian Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno. You can buy whoever you want with that money you have, but you don't, and you have Eddie Howe. He's a well-run club. And I have to say, I have a bit of respect for this. He's not a pushover anymore. But when you are building and building and building and building, and if you are good now, what you can be like in the next 2 to 3 years? You know what I mean? You are miles ahead of us, at the moment with form and owners and all that stuff. And the way they're playing, of course. But here is Newcastle's previous 5 games. Solid. It'll pop up now in a minute, but solid. Look, can we just look at? Don't look at the other 4. Look at the top one. They beat PSG by 4-1. Say what you want about PSG, right? Say what you want, good or bad. Say what you want. But I was expecting PSG to beat them. Newcastle went out at St James's Park in the Champions League, game week 2, and put 4 past them like it was nothing, like they were Crystal Palace. But that just goes to show how far they've come since Eddie Howe has come in and owners. So they beat PSG by 4-1. Brilliant. They drew 2-2 against West Ham. They beat Newcastle 4-0. They beat Crystal Palace 4-0. They lost against Dortmund 1-0, and they drew 2-2 against Wolves on the weekend. Okay, you expect them to beat the majority of those teams. They're coming into the game with a bit of a sticky patch, you could say, not winning their previous 2. But that doesn't matter. They can come into this game and they can take us out blows out water like it's nothing. And let us know what you think of Newcastle's form. I think it's personally better than ours. We wouldn't beat PSG 4-1. Even if we tried, we wouldn't. But, fair play to them. Fair play to them. And it probably sounds like I'm giving too much respect to Newcastle. But they deserve the respect they get is the respect they deserve. I'm glad we're not playing them at St James's Park tomorrow, by the way, because I'll be predicting a loss. And a bad one, too. I just don't know what to expect from Newcastle tomorrow. Again, they've not won their previous 2 games, but I watched the game against Dortmund and they should have at least got a draw out of it, let's be brutally honest. I didn't watch the game on Saturday, but I presume it was another one they maybe should have won. But still, even when they're losing, they don't go down without a fight. They could be 2 goals down, 3 goals down. We've seen in the Carabao Cup final last year as well. They went 2 goals down in the first half. And they still came out, hit us. It was all Manchester United defence. So you could actually go in half-time beating Newcastle 5-0 if you want. But they're still not going to give up. But yeah. But let's go through a few Newcastle United stats. Basically, we're going to go through the top goal scorer and top assister. Obviously, they have a brilliant striker, and it's not Isaac, it's Callum Wilson. He's coming into this game with 8 goals. I'm sure he wasn't expected to get a lot of game time when Alexander Isak came in. But Isak is kind of not injury prone, but he's picked up a few knocks since he's arrived at Newcastle. So Callum Wilson is a good player. Yeah, he mightn't be the youngest, but he still has it. He's still fast. He's still strong. He's a big lad. Don't give him the time of day to shoot, pass, heady the ball, because he will hurt you. But they have a right back who was our top assister, and I really, really rate him at such an age still. Kieran Trippier, I presume, like I read up on my stats, he's come into this game with 6 assists. Now, some of you might be saying 6 assists, so many games in, that's absolutely low. No, it's not. Trippier for me is one of the best right backs in the Premier League. You know, you could say top 5, but Walker, Trent Alexander-Arnold, you know, top 3, you'd say at least. I'm trying to think of what are decent right backs. You have Reece James in there, someone like that. You have Udogie, but he's more of a, he's not. He's actually not a right back. He's a left back, but he is a solid player. And again, I don't. There's another stat, and again, a question from me to you, to me. Who is Newcastle's danger man? They have a few. They have Anthony Gordon, Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Almiron, Murphy, Wilson, Trippier, Dan Bourne. Me, I'm going to go with... Who am I going to go with? Almiron, for me, is, I think, Newcastle's danger man. Again, another player who's not high profile, but he's such a good player. So, yeah, for me, that's my Newcastle danger man. Who was your Newcastle danger man? Now, of course, Newcastle will be coming into this game as well, looking to seek a bit of revenge. Obviously, they'll want to knock us out of the competition because we beat them in the competition last year at Wembley. So they're coming into this game with a bit of a thorn in their side, wanting to knock us out at Old Trafford, and it's probably the best time that they can do it as well. Can they do it? Yes. Will they do it? I hope not, but they can. If they do it, I'll not be surprised, but they'll be coming into this game. Again, they'll probably go strong themselves, They'll probably go strong themselves. But who knows? Obviously, they have a few key players out, but that doesn't matter with Newcastle United. You can say they're much at Brighton at times. You could have half a team out, but still string a win together. It's brilliant, of course. Solid. But yeah, they will be looking to knock us out, and what better way to do it away, beating the winners who beat you at Wembley. I mean, last time you played them here was 0-0, if you don't remember. Obviously, I think this goes to penalty, so there's no draw, replay or extra time. Maybe straight to pens, which, Onana might be good. You might be doing well lately with penalties, except for Sunday, obviously, but wasn't a pen. But that doesn't matter. If it goes to penalty, you back Newcastle. But I don't know. Who knows? Now, it is predictions time. It is predictions time. Here is my predicted 11 for the game tomorrow. Let me know if you agree or disagree. So it's a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-2, whatever way you want to look at it. It's going to be Onana in there. I think he's going to go with a back four of Serge Reguilon, Harry Maguire, Raphael Varane, and Diogo Dalot. I think Varane will come back into the side, probably get an hour or so. And yeah, you might play Lindelof there. Who knows? But this is what I would go with. Well, I wouldn't actually go with, to be fair, but it's what I think Ten Hag will go with. I'll go with a midfield of Sofiane Amrabat, Casemiro, and Bruno Fernandes. I know you might be saying, drop Bruno, get him out. He's playing poor lately, get him gone. It's what I think Ten Hag will go with. I think he'll play Rashford. I don't think he'll drop Rashford anytime soon. I think he'll go Anthony on the right, and I think he'll play Martial for around 60, 70, maybe 80 odd minutes, because, again, it's a game where you might need a bit of physicality up top, a bit of height as well. But I don't think he'll be whipping balls into the box anytime soon or doing any long ball stuff tomorrow. I wouldn't anyways with Newcastle's height, in the defence especially. So that was my predicted 11. What I would go with, I'd start Onana. Like, the players I'd drop is Rashford and Bruno, bring in Hannibal Mejbri and Garnacho. But I don't think he'll do that. Personally, I don't think Eric Ten Hag will do that. Is it enough to beat Newcastle? It is. Will it? I don't know. But I am going with a confident score prediction. But I think it's going to be from a penalty. Not even a penalty. I think it's going to be one of those goals where we score 30 minutes in, and I think it'll be 1-0 to Manchester United. I just think Bruno will get it. But it'll be a scrappy L win, like the Copenhagen game. I can see us getting the goal from absolutely none. But that has been the Manchester United versus Newcastle United Carabao Cup preview. Like I said, there will be watch along live here with myself on the United YouTube channel at 7:45. Don't forget, be there or be square. Hopefully we get the win. My prediction might go out the window. Like I say, even if I think we'll lose, I'll still say something positive. But this has been the Manchester United versus Newcastle United preview. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.